In this InDesign video, we're going to talk about some of the screen saving shortcuts that Adobe uses to help you alter how the display looks, whether it's going to show the guidelines, whether you're going to just see what's going to end up printing, and things of that nature. I'm going to start this off by placing in a logo on the page. And I can already tell from this viewpoint, but it gets even worse when I zoom in, the quality appears to be very, very poor. Well, that may be the fact. This may be a very low-res logo. It may be saved with an improper screen preview, but a lot of times InDesign opens up documents in what they call a typical display, and that doesn't necessarily allow the high-res nature of the image to actually show through. So I'm going to go up to View and pull down to Display Performance, and sure enough, Typical Display is clicked. I want to let go on High Quality Display. And again, this seems to reset itself every time that InDesign boots, especially in kind of a lab experience or studio experience on a campus. So now I'm not as worried about the quality of the logo. I'm going to go ahead and place another image on this page. And I'm going to go ahead and take this dog and I'm going to enlarge it so that it pretty much stretches as if I was going to use it to bleed. And then when I'm done, I want to check out a couple of different things. First of all, I kind of want to see what the dog looks like without those grid or those guidelines. What I can end up doing in InDesign is I can go to the equivalent of going to View, Screen Mode, and right now it's set on Normal, and Normal for Adobe means show everything that's going to be on the page, everything that's on the page, including the guidelines. I really want to go to this Preview mode, or what it's showing you right here is a presentation mode. So I'm going to go ahead, the shortcut for that is just hitting the W command. By me toggling back and forth between the W, I get to see just what's going to print, and it hides everything here in the background. I'm going to switch to another page real quick. Here's a very simple ad that we put together in class. And over here off at the side, I went ahead and placed all the copy out of a Word document. After a while, I just want to stare at the ad without actually seeing all this type of stuff. Same thing, just pop the W button. That's what's going to print. No guidelines, nothing. That is what should end up showing up. It's just a safer way to look at something than without all that stuff. Depending on what it is that you have to view, this particular page here is really a 4-column wide with these blue guidelines by 7-row deep layout. But again, the W command lets me toggle so that I can just see what's going to end up printing on the page. So that's a pretty helpful thing. Other thing I want to check right here is I want to be able to see what the page would look like sometimes without a bunch of tool palettes that might be open. Again, perhaps we've been using some of these and these are spread around. A fast way to get around that is to just hit the Tab button. The Tab button turns all the Adobe toolboxes, control palettes up here at the top, palettes over at the side, and allows me to just temporarily, again, stare at what's going to end up printing on the page. Flash the Tab button and it shows back up. And the last thing that we want to take a look at is what is the actual resolution of this particular dog now that we're looking at this. I'm going to go up and go to Window and pull down to Info. I'm going to move it off to the side. I'm going to click on the dog, and it's telling me that it's basically the size of the page, 8 1/8. Because it's a very vertical picture, it's extending off and it's almost 12 inches. But if I come over here and I look in this info palette, it's actually showing me that the actual PPI of the original image that we placed in was 300 dpi, but by the time I've blown the dog up to the size I'm looking at, this is effectively only 157 dpi. That may not be that big a deal. Just keep in mind, 300 dpi is what we eventually want the effective PPI to be for anything that we print. Postcards, magazine advertisements, brochures, that's pretty standard. 200 dpi is often what we end up seeing for newspapers. 72 dpi is for the web, so this would be more than effective for that. And then now we're coming into a new category of sizes, and that's for retina displays or high-end tablets like an iPad or something like that. Those are typically at 150 dpi. So the way things are looking at, this is great for a class project. This would be just fine to upload to a website to show samples of your work, but at 157 dpi, it's probably not quite high enough resolution to run in a newspaper or something for print. So again, we have the W command to be able to flash to turn the work with the guidelines on and to be able to see anything that we placed off the side of the page, or to be able to view it like this. Tab button allows us to hide temporarily all the toolboxes, control palettes, and palettes. And then we can end up making sure that we have this image at the highest possible on-screen resolution by going View, Display Performance, High Quality Display. And then if you ever want to check out to see what is the actual resolution after you're done resizing the images, that's showing the window info, clicking on the object that you want, and then being able to take a look at what the effective PPI is.